Liv, welcome back to my channel Endless Pages and welcome to today's video, yet another reading vlog. So it's currently Wednesday the 30th of March about 4:15. So I think it's obvious that I didn't start this reading vlog on a Monday like I should be doing, but I've been feeling a little bit slumpy. I've read pretty much everything that I've wanted to for my March TBR. I have one DNF and I have one book that I really do want to finish, but I'm just not feeling at the moment, and that is The Burning God, the third book in the Poppy War trilogy that I cannot be bothered to stand up and get, so I'll just pop a picture. Yeah, I've given the previous two books 5 stars, but I'm just not feeling it and I don't want to push it because I know I'm going to love it, and I don't want to, I don't want to read it when I don't want to read it, you know. I know it's part of this TBR, but I'll pick it up eventually, you know. No harm done there. Yeah, so I didn't start this on Monday because I haven't really been doing much reading. I've been feeling a little slumpy. Excuse my phone. The only thing that I have finished today was the webtoon I've been reading, called Brimstones and Roses. I read this was for a prompt for the Roll of Reads Readathon. I should mute my phone. The prompt: read a book with plus size rep. So our main character B is a plus size woman. Basically, if you don't know what this webtoon is about, it's about our main character B. B gets invited to her sister's wedding, but her ex-girlfriend's going to be there and she is totally over her, by the way. So she summons a demon to take as a date to the wedding, but it kind of backfires because, like, there was stuff in the contract that she didn't see, and he is going to be staying on Earth with her a little bit longer than she had planned. So it's kind of that comedy of her being stuck with a demon. But what I didn't realize, like, it's not a bad thing, I just, like, I didn't realize that this was such a big part of it, was the fantastic mental health rep. So please check trigger warnings before you read this, because yeah, there's like front-on discussions about our main character who suffers from anxiety and depression, and I think it just handles it really well. It doesn't tiptoe around the subject, it handles it head on, and there's a few absolutely fantastic scenes of seeing someone go through a panic attack and supporting someone while that's happening. So yeah, there's a few of those kind of scenes that I think are handled really well. There's also a lot of amazing representation in terms of nationality, background, and sexuality of characters. And the romance in this is adorable. It's so cute. I love it. It's so wholesome. That's what I love. It's that mix of like wholesome romance and funny, like, silly moments, and then we also see such confronting and important moments about mental health and relationships and healthy relationships. So yeah, I love it. I'm kind of mad at myself though that I've caught up, because now I have to wait like until she releases the new episodes. I think I'm up to the mid season 2. There's a bit of a hiatus now, so I don't know when it's coming back, and I'm very sad because, like, man, I need to know what happens next, because things are happening romance wise and I just want to see, more of it. Sorry if the angle is different, my camera died. Great start to this vlog. I forgot to say the animation in this, like the art style I should say, is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The creator is so talented. There's some spectacularly drawn scenes that I think are beautiful. If I was to give this webtoon a star rating, it would be 5 stars. It's fantastic. I love it, and I cannot wait to see what other webtoons are out there now. So to sum this up, that's where I'm kind of feeling. I'm feeling slumpy, but reading is not my job. It's a hobby, so I'm not going to push it, and if I'm not in the mood to read, I'm not in the mood to read. I've just been watching Bridgerton today instead, catching up. I'm not up to date, and I've got FOMO from everyone talking about season 2, so I wanted to catch up. So that's what I've been doing today. I will definitely be filming more talking points later in the week when I have my lovely big April TBR to pick from. I have so many books that I'm going to be reading in April that I'm super excited to get to, and I know are going to be amazing. So I'm just going to leave it until then, and I will see you in the next update when I actually am reading. Oh, I forgot to say tonight, I'm going to go see Morbius, my first in cinema experience since of Marvel since Spider-Man. I don't know if it's going to be as much as my thing as the other Marvel movies, but I'm going to give Morbius a fair try. I'm excited to see something Marvel again. It's been since December since I've seen something in Marvel and cinema, which is too long. And also Moon Knight comes out tonight, so that's what I'll be spending my night doing after the movie. After watching Morbius, I'll come home, watch Moon Knight. So it's going to be a fun night filled with Marvel. I couldn't ask for anything better. Hello, happy Friday. Got my Smirnoff and I'm ready to get some reading done. So since my last update, I haven't read. I said I wasn't going to read and I didn't read, but it is now officially the 1st of April. So that means a fresh new TBR for today, which is exciting because this TBR I am absolutely pumped for. But I don't know what to read. So a refresher in case you haven't seen my TBR video, I've got Project Hail Mary, As Good as Dead, The Gracia, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. We've also got The Bear and the Nightingale, or Thunderhead. So I think I'm going to count Thunderhead out because I haven't reread Scythe yet. I want to listen to the audiobook. I had a credit, so I got an audiobook of Scythe. So I haven't listened to that yet. So Thunderhead's out. I don't want to start a thick book this week and then not have a finished book to talk about in this vlog. So I think I'm going to count Kingdom of Flesh and Fire out. But I think I would definitely start that either later this week or definitely next week because that's a priority. And then, you know, I just hit myself. Last month, I'm sorry, it's been a long week. Last reading vlog I talked about, I'll pop it up here, my horrible experience reading a young adult thriller, They'll Never Catch Us. So I could read As Good as Dead, the third and final book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder trilogy, which is one of my favourite books now, and just have a really good experience because I've given the previous 2 books 5 stars. Or I don't think I'm in the mood to read The Bear and the Nightingale. Oh gosh, this is so hard. Or do I read Project Hail Mary because this was so anticipated? And do I just keep putting off As Good as Dead? I don't know why I keep putting it off. Maybe I just like don't want it to be over. This is like 480 pages and it's like super large paperback. So gosh, I don't know. I think I'm so like unsure because I've been in a weird reading place, so I want to make sure that I pick the right book to start back up again. You know what? It's cold, it's spooky. I think it's time for some spooky vibes with As Good as Dead. This one I've been putting off for too long. I'm ready to get back into one more crazy adventure for a final time with this character. This book, the previous 2 books have been so fast paced, and I think that will be a good way to get me back into reading this month with something quick and something that I can get obsessed with and want to binge read. So I feel like maybe this is a good choice to start off my reading for this month. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with this. That's literally my plan for tonight. Drink and read. So it's gonna be a really chill Friday night. I'm going out for lunch tomorrow. I'm working on Sunday, so this is gonna be my best opportunity to read. So let's start this. I will see you when I actually have an update of this book. It is still Friday night. It's actually 11:34, so it's almost Saturday morning. So yes, I've read 113 pages of As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, and think I have definitely made the right choice with picking this book up. So if you didn't know, just quickly, the first book in this series is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is about a girl called Pip, and Pip is a high school student, and 5 years ago in her small town a girl called Annie Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal. But Pip knew Sal when he was younger and just can't believe that he actually would have done this and committed this crime and killed his girlfriend. So for one of her final projects for high school, she decides to look into the case herself. And once she starts to look into the murder, she starts to discover the kind of really dark and dangerous secrets about all the people in her small town. So that's about that. The second book is another investigation, and the third book, without spoiling it, I'm really liking with how it's going. I think it's definitely, the author realised that she needed to change it up a little bit, because otherwise this series would be very repetitive and the same kind of, I guess, yeah, the same kind of plot. So this book is a bit more about a stalker, which I shouldn't be reading at this late at night because it's quite spooky. And I really liked how we're kind of seeing the consequences for Pip because of how much, I guess, she's put herself out there and how much she's risked, and you know, the really dangerous people that she has come up against in the previous two books in her investigations, and kind of the consequences of that in this book, which I love, and the impact that it's having on her mental health and her mental state, I really love as well. So I really like the kind of turn this book is taking, and it's really making it stand out and really different from the previous two books in a good way, and keeping it fresh and not repetitive. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. This sounds like the final case is going to have the most amount of tension and consequences. So at this stage it is seeing, wow, what was I trying to say? It seems that this is going to be just as good as the previous two books. I need some sleep, but I don't know if I can after reading this book. Tonight I might read a little bit more. I don't know. I have social plans tomorrow. I should sleep. But yeah, I just thought I would update and tell you what I had read. So I don't think I'll be able to finish this book tomorrow. Maybe I'll get a really good chunk of it done tomorrow though. So we will see. I'm gonna go and attempt some sleep, and I will see you in the next update. It is Tuesday night, it's about 10 o'clock, so I'm trying to be a little bit quiet. So, I can't remember the last time I updated you guys. Was it Friday? I want to say it was Friday. So, I had a fun weekend. I worked on Sunday, Saturday went out for lunch with my friend, which was lovely. Ate so much good Italian food. So much. So yummy. So I think I put a little bit of b-roll footage of that in. In terms of reading, I have officially finished my first book of, what month are we in? April, which is pretty good for me. I finished it yesterday, so on the 4th. So to read a book in 4 days when I was feeling a bit slumpy at the end of the last month was really good. So I finished As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. So I gave this book 5 stars. There was a twist towards the middle / end of the book that I did not see coming, and I was like, ah, that was so good. I didn't see that coming at all. It made this book kind of ironic, if you get what I mean, which I loved. I thought it was so cool. It was a really, really good way to end the series, and a really good way to make this book stand out against the others and make it different. So I really loved the ending. I loved this book. It was intense. It got a lot darker than the previous books, which I loved, a lot more scary, and the stalker in this book is horrifying, and it made me so scared, and it was really fun to read this book at night because it was so scary. So that's all I really got to left to say about this book, was that it was fun, it was scary as hell, and so I've officially rated all 3 books in this trilogy 5 stars. It's now one of my favourite trilogies ever. I'm really, really sad I'm done with this story though and finished, because it's one that I really enjoyed, and I really loved the characters in this book. I loved Pip, and I loved her obsession with true crime, and her determination, and her strength, and her smarts. Yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed this. So then my second book of the month, I have picked up Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is a sci-fi book set in space. It's about a guy called Jay, and Jay wakes up in space with like no memory of his assignment. He is the sole survivor on like a last chance mission to save the Earth, and he has to puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer an extinction level threat to our species, and his memory is kind of coming back slowly to him in pieces, and the clock is kicking down to the nearest human being being light years away. He has to do it all alone, or does he? So I picked this book up because the hype around it is huge, plus it's the author of The Martian. I haven't read The Martian, but I watched the movie with Matt Damon. I really loved that. So I've read 54 pages today, which is really good in terms of the fact that I worked from open to close. So normally in those kind of days I don't get any reading done, but I actually sat on my break and I read a little bit in my break, which was so good for me rather than scrolling on my phone in my break. I read a little bit before work, I read a little bit tonight, so I'm really, really happy with my progress in this book so far. I'm aiming to get to 100 pages before I go to bed, and I'm on 55, so that's doable. I can do that. I'm reading through it quite quickly. I was a little bit worried at the start. They started saying like, a little bit of scientific stuff, but like maths stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to follow this. Like, I have the maths skills of about a 5-year-old child, so I was like, oh no, it's going to lose me. But it's just understand it. Like, it's just not complicated enough. I'm so tired. I gotta stop doing these updates when I'm really tired. It's just enough that you can follow it, and it's just basic enough that a dumb person like me can follow along with the scientific words, and they explain it quite well and in quite simplistic language, so that makes it good, because I was like, I don't want this book to be ruined for me because of like the science and maths talk, but that's okay. So far I'm understanding it. So far it's pretty funny as well. I remember the some bits in The Martian being quite funny, and so far some of the stuff that this character's thinking and saying is like made me chuckle, which is good. I like a good bit of humour in my book. I like that he's slowly getting his memory back, and we're slowly putting together the context of the book with him. I'm very curious to see where this goes. It's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book, but he wakes up and there's two corpses in there with him, so I'm very curious to see how that happened and what happened there. I'm very curious what happened there. Very curious to see what the mission's going to be and how he's going to attempt to save the Earth. So yes, I'm really, really enjoying this so far, and I'm glad I am, because it was really such an anticipated book. So I've only read 54 pages, but so far so good. So then this afternoon, because I get fixations, I keep watching everyone's Magical Readathon Spring Equinox TBR videos, and because I'm crazy, I was like, I've got FOMO. I did participate in the novice path for the Magical Readathon in September, I think it was, last year, and then never followed on from that, because again I get fixations and I don't know how to follow through on anything. And I was watching everyone's TBRs and I was like, I got FOMO now. I want to be back into this, because I'm seeing everyone create their character bit by bit and it looks so fun. So I commented that on Gem from the Bookish Gems videos. I was like, I've got FOMO, I'm so jealous of you. And she was like, just pick it up and like use books that you've already read to fill the prompts and just like catch up. So I was like, ooh, okay. So tonight I've sat down and caught up and started building back my character. So now I am able to participate in the spring equinox, which is happening this month, which is insane because my TBR is already insane, and I'm adding like probably 3-4 more books to it, which is like, I don't read that many books in a month. So is it 3 or 4? Sorry. 3. I'll be adding 3 extra books to my TBR, which is crazy for me. I don't know how I think that that's going to happen, but I really want to participate. So I'm going to hopefully film a quick little video tomorrow to talk about my plans for the spring equinox. Plus it means I have more content for Vader, which is good, but I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. So I think that's all the updates I have. Tomorrow I've got the day off, yay! So I'm hoping to film my spring equinox video, another video, which is potentially, oh no, I won't say just yet in case it's not out when this is out, and then I want to read maybe 150 to 200 pages of Project Hail Mary, just because now that I'm adding like 3 more books onto my TBR, I need to get moving. So that's my plan for tomorrow. God knows when I'll update next, but I will see then. I'm going to get up to page 200 and then I'm going to get some sleep. Bye. Hello. So it is Friday the 8th of April. It's about 6 p.m. and so I'm officially in my TAFE break, which is good. What's not so good is that a family member has contracted COVID in my household, so we're now isolating for a week. Anyway, she's fine. She's just feeling a bit coldy. She's not like in pain or anything. She's okay, touch wood for now. So, and I'm still testing negative and we're isolating from each other as much as we can. So that's fine. Just not what I wanted to happen, but that's life in a pandemic. It was going to happen eventually, probably. So anyway, back to actual book stuff. I finished another book. I finished Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Is that his name? Yeah. So I really liked this book. I don't know why it took me so long. I really liked this book. This book was not at all what I was expecting it to be. I was kind of going into it with the thought that this was going to be a fun, action-packed like space adventure, but it's not. It's more literally just about a scientist figuring out how to save Earth using science, and what I'm assuming is semi-accurate science. I don't know. Someone told me if it's at least semi-accurate, some of it, because I wouldn't know. Yeah, so this book was not at all what I was expecting it to be, and once I realized that a little bit, like 200 pages in, I was like, ooh, am I not gonna like this after all? Because there was a lot of science talk in this that I just could follow along enough that like I kind of understood what was going on, the basic like concepts, and then I started to be like, well, maybe I don't want to pick this up. Last night I was like, maybe I'll just put this down and pick up another book, and I was like, no, stick with it, like it's so popular, it's got to be popular for a reason, and you were kind of enjoying it before you put that thought into your head. So I just powered through, and I was so glad I did. There was a certain plot point that I will not say because it's a massive spoiler that happened, and if you read this book, you probably know the event that happened that caught my interest again, and that was really interesting and funny and really heartwarming, and a certain, something was really heartwarming in this book that I absolutely loved and adored and thought it was so sweet. The ending kind of made me tear up. It was so cute. Yeah, this was a really fascinating book. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to like let this book settle a little bit and think about it more, but I think I enjoyed it because it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. It wasn't a fast-paced like science fiction, like, what is science fiction, but it wasn't a fast-paced like set in space, like, zooming through space to save humanity. It was more slow-paced, realistic kind of space. So I haven't read anything like that before, so I think that's why I enjoyed it a little bit. It was really fresh. I really loved our main character. He was a really interesting character, really relatable in a way, and I loved reading from his perspective and his sense of humour, which was really fun. And yeah, this was a really fun book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fascinating, and yeah, I'm just going to say Rocky, without spoiling anything, I love Rocky. He's such a good character. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, yeah, I love Ryland and I love Rocky, and this was a really good book, so I'm really glad I picked it up. I was thinking 4 stars, but I might push it up to 5. I'll let you know on that next update what I end up actually rating it. So that means, what do I do next? So I think I told you in the last update I decided to do the Magical Readathon Spring Equinox. If not, I decided, if I didn't tell you, I'm telling you now. Which means I have to add 4 more books to my TBR. One of them's a picture book, so that's fine. But like 3 more biggish books to my TBR. Which means I need to pick up the pace a little bit because it's the 8th and I've only read 2 books. So originally my next plan was to pick up Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Is that what it's called? Yes, that's what it's called. Because that's my biggest book on my TBR, and I was like, get it out the way early. But I just noticed that there, within the Realmathon Readathon, there is peace talks, and I think for the peace talks all of the books get you extra points for the time period. So it starts at 7 p.m. on the Friday the 8th of April, whatever that is for your time, to the 10th of April, 7 p.m. So it's 6:05 now, so it starts in 55 minutes. Oh my god, maths. It starts in 55 minutes. So that's enough time, I think, to let this book settle and to pick up another one. So I don't think I'm going to do Flesh and Fire because I'm not going to get that done in this time period. So I thought if I pick up some of my smaller books, I might get 1 or 2 books done this weekend, and that's bonus points. It's plus 10 points per book you read, so that's good. I don't know what my hand was doing there. So I think I'm going to pick up the book I added to my TBR yesterday for the Spring Equinox, if I can reach it. Oh god. So I think next I'm going to read Blackout by a bunch of different authors. I think this is a good one to read because it's like a romance contemporary thing, which will be easy to read after this very, very science-heavy science fiction novel. So it won't get all muddled up and confused in my brain because there'll be 2 very different books. Plus this is only like 250 pages, and like, look how much, there's barely any text on a page compared to, like, you know, a book like this I've just read. So I could potentially even get 50 or 100 pages of this done tonight. So I'm hoping maybe to finish this tomorrow since I'm isolating and I don't have anywhere to go. So then that's already 1 book I'll have complete. I'll probably do the picture book because that's bonus 10 points and I'll get that done in like 20 minutes. And then after that, maybe the Gracia. So that's my thinking for tonight for the start of the peace talks. And that's all the updates I've got, I think. Yeah, okay. I will update you when I have started Blackout, and I will remember to tell you what I end up rating Project Hail. Okay, hello! Finally, I look half decent in one of these updates. So, it is currently Saturday. What's the time? It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. So, let's update. Last night I told you that I had finished Project Hail Mary and I was unsure about what I was going to rate it. I ended up rating it 5 stars. I was thinking 4, but then I was like, no, I couldn't do it. So that was a sign that I had to rate it 5 stars. Loved it. And then obviously I said last night at 7 p.m. the Peace Talks, part of the Realmathon Readathon started, and I wanted to read a couple of books for that. So last night I literally read this whole book. I'm so proud of myself. I read Blackout. I really enjoyed this book. So this book, the reason I could read it one night was like the pages are that big and they're like contemporary, super easy to read. I gave Blackout 4 stars. I surprisingly really enjoyed it, which really surprises me. There was obviously some stories that I liked more than others. Some stories were just like one chapter or two, others were a couple of chapters throughout the book, and then other stories were more towards the end. So I think there was like 3 or 4 stories overall. I can't remember, so I'm checking now. Yeah, there was... The Long Walk was by Tiffany Jackson. That was, I'd say, my least favourite story. What was this one? Oh, Made to Fit by Ashley Woodfolk was very sweet. I liked that one. So obviously they're all different stories about people falling in love in New York in this blackout, and I really liked that all of the stories have a little tiny bit of a connection, which is really satisfying and cute to read. Mask Off was another standout story. I absolutely adored that one. I'm just trying to go through and remember like the titles of them. All the Great Love Stories and Dust. I liked the book aspect of that one, like the book love aspect, but in terms of the romance, that was kind of not as strong as some of the others. Again, The Long Walk was probably not my favorite. No Sleep to Brooklyn, I loved the message in that one. The outcome, I really thought that that was very nice and made it a little bit different from the other ones. Is that all the stories? Sorry, I can't even remember. Seymour and Grace. That was the other one I didn't like as much, yeah. So Seymour and Grace and The Long Walk were the 2 ones that I didn't like as much as the other ones, and the other ones were all like absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this book is super cute. Easy read. So if you're looking for something wholesome, I would definitely recommend this book for any romance lover out there. Nice bit of representation in it as well, or stories about African Americans set in New York. So it was cute. I loved it. I thought it was wholesome as hell. So thoroughly enjoyed that. So happy that I read it all in one night. I was like, oh, maybe I can get like 100 pages read. No, I read all 250 pages. So good. Cute as hell. So that's my update for that book. Rated it 4 stars. I think I already told you that. So my plan for today, so obviously I'm participating in Vader. I don't know how many times I've said that, a million, and I've kind of caught up to my filming, so I need to film a video to post today. So I'm gonna film that, and then I might film another video for tomorrow if I can be bothered. It's not like I've got anywhere to go anyway, so I could film it tomorrow if I needed to. So obviously the peace talks are still going on, and I want to at least read one more book and my picture book for the bonus points. So my other book that I want to tackle is The Gracier by Kim Liggett. This is a book that is on my unhaul. Yes, it's on my, I'll put it up in the cards here. I think this is where it will be. These books will self-destruct in 12 months video, which means if you don't read the book within 12 months of posting that video, you have to unhaul it. And this has just been sitting on my TBR for so long, and it is a book that I'm really interested in. I just haven't got around to it. So this is basically set in this little village, and girls at the age of 16 are sent off into the forest in a little survival wilderness thing, because they are believed to be kind of like tainted, and going to the forest kind of purifies them of their magic so that they're able to come back and be ready for marriage. And no one really talks about what happens in the Gracier. Everyone knows what happens, but it's not spoken about. So that plot really intrigues me, plus the cover's really cool. I love the cover of this book. I know there's another cover, but I'm glad I got this one. This one's, I think, the better cover out of the 2. Anyway, sidetracked. So to read this book, I'd need to finish it before 7 PM tomorrow night to be counted for the bonus points. So that would be, it's like a 400-page book, so 200 pages each day, which I know sounds doable, but is a lot for me. The pages aren't like huge, but I have to film today and it's already 11 o'clock, so 200 pages today is getting less and less probable. So we will see how I go. I hope I can get this done because I really want the bonus points for it, and that's my plan. So yeah, I think that's all that I have to say. yeah, I'm gonna go film, and I will see you when I have read a little bit of the Gracie to tell you about. Saturday the 9th. It's now 5:20 at night, and I thought I would give you a tinsy tiny quick little update about how much I've read of the Gracie. So I said my aim was 200 pages, and I think I'm on track to do that. I've officially read 101 pages. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm very, very intrigued. We've just kind of done the background and setup, and we've now officially at the point where they are in the wilderness, and we're already starting to see what's happening to some of these girls being in the wilderness. I really like the main character. She's intriguing. I think this whole world is really interesting, and you can definitely see the kind of feminist themes that'll be coming up in this book, which I love. We have a few interesting kind of side characters. We have our clear kind of villainous people already, and it's really interesting discussion about gender norms and gender, how we structure society around gender and stuff like that. So that's already really intriguing. The way that the girls are acting in the wilderness are kind of reminding me of that show, what's it called, Yellowjackets. I've only watched like an episode and a bit, but I'm really enjoying it. Yellowjackets is about this show. It's about this like young, I think they're a soccer team in the US, not fiction, not a real story. And they go on this plane to go to whatever you call it, regionals or whatever it is, and the plane crashes. And I think it's about uncovering what happened to them when they were girls in the wilderness and what went down, and there's already some hints at some dark stuff and some real weird stuff went down. So the way that the girls are acting in this book kind of reminds me of what happens in that show, Yellowjackets. It's that same kind of vibe of girls in the wilderness and the stuff that's not talked about that went on in the wilderness. It's already set up a few interesting things about what's going to go down in the wilderness. Some other potentially people that could be in the wilderness, and we've already had kind of sort of an interaction with one of them. So a very intriguing interaction, so I'm very excited to see where that goes. And I'm excited to see how our main character Tyranny will go trying to survive, how she might potentially change, and yeah, how it will change her. So I'm very, very intrigued. I'm enjoying it so far. I think I'm on track to do 200 pages, to do another 100 pages tonight, hopefully. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm really intrigued, kind of reminding me of Yellowjackets, the wilderness thing, but in a good way. And yeah, I've read 100 pages, so that's my update. So it's about 6:20, is that the time? Yeah, about 6:20 on Sunday night, and I'm currently absolutely scrambling to get all my footage for this vlog downloaded so I can upload it today. I previously filmed another video to come out today, but you can tell that I didn't care yesterday. I was not in a filming mood, and I forced it. And you can tell that I don't care. There's no effort in the video. I'm just reading blurbs off my phone. Like it was real bad, and I was like, I'm not posting that just to keep up Vader. So then I was being super dramatic, and I was like, I quit Vader, I give up. And then people were like, no, don't. And I was like, yeah, that's silly. So I'm trying to scramble to see if I can get this vlog out on time. I'm filming this last little bit as something downloads on my phone for it. Yeah, I just got annoyed that video didn't turn out very well and I couldn't post it, and Vader's been challenging filming and editing a video in a day every day, so yeah. But anyway, I just needed to rant. We'll see. You guys will know if this worked out, and if I was able to keep going with Vader if you see this video today. Thanks for watching. It's been an annoying day trying to get this out, but anyway, so let's actually talk about books. I finished The Gracie by Kim Liggett. I can't believe I read this book in 2 days. I like absolutely ate it up. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Couldn't put it down. So Tyranny's character I really like, because you're just gonna have to put up with me looking down all the time to make sure it's still downloading. I don't have time for it to fail. Anyway, I like Tyranny's character because she had such strength. Like from the start of the book, she was already a strong character, but the trials and kind of, I'd say, trauma and traumatic experiences of this book only strengthened her further. And what I liked about her as a female character was that she was super strong, she was intelligent, she was able to fend for herself, she was really smart, and not just book smart, but in terms of like survival smart. And at the same time of her strength in that way, she was also able to show her strength in other ways. She was strong physically and strong mentally, but at the same time she was still super empathetic and a super caring person and super kind. So I like female characters that are written with kind of both those characteristics. So you can be able to be strong and head smart and survivor, but at the same time be strong in your empathy. And I liked that despite what am I trying to say? Despite that, and I liked how one of the aspects is when the girls go to the Gracie, how they act. And I liked that Tyranny knew that the girls weren't vicious because they were vicious. It was more that behaviour came from how the girls were brought up and the kind of gender, in a very gendered society this society was, with the males with the power and in charge, and the women you know, made to be like, you know, what's the word? I can't speak. I keep just saying, you know, the girls made to be very humble and quiet and, you know, stay in their place. So Tyranny knew that these, once they get to the Gracie, these girls, this is the first kind of taste of freedom and power they've ever had in their lives. So of course a lot of the girls going to want to cling to this power that they have because they've never experienced this power before, or they've just never been able to express it before. And I liked that Tyranny knew that it was kind of because of circumstances. Some of the girls did what they did, and she was still able to look past that and forgive a lot of behaviour. And I think that takes a lot of strength and intelligence to know that that's where that viciousness is coming from as well. And yeah, I thought this was a beautiful story, a really subtle feminist story I liked as well. So if you're looking for a good feminist fantasy, this is definitely one for you. I really loved the ending as well. It came kind of full circle, I guess you could say, because there was some plot point that I was like, they're just going to leave this open-ended, like they're not going to answer this, but they did, which made me really happy. I have no complaints about this book. Absolutely loved it. I think it was really sweet and a great feminist story, and Tyranny is now like one of my favourite female characters. I love her. So 5 out of 5 stars to the Gracia. So good. I also, if I can get it here, I also read the picture book, Maybe. This is by Kobe Yamadata and illustrated by Gabriella Barouch. I don't have much to say about this. Other than the illustrations are absolutely stunning and the message is beautiful and a lovely message that I think all children should hear. So if you have a child, this is a book I would definitely recommend. It's great. I don't have anything to say other than that. It's a children's book. There's only so much I can say, but I have had quite a successful reading vlog. I remember the first clip, now that I'm editing as I go, it was me being like, I'm slumpy. And now, look at me go. This vlog, I read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, 5 stars. I read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, 5 stars. I read Blackout by a bunch of authors, 4 stars. I read The Gracia by Kim Liggett, 5 stars. And I read the Maybe picture book. So I read 2 books, 1 picture book for the Peace Talk, so bonus points. Look at all these books. I'm so happy. This has been the best start to the reading month. Like, I'm doing so well. I'm just hoping into next week that this luck continues. So I'm going to wrap this up so I can continue to edit. But thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you've read recently, what have you rated it. And as always, all my social media links are in the description below. And I will see you guys in whatever I post next. Bye!